Today I'll be reviewing Boruto Chapter 24, Kawaki. So we finally get introduced to Kawaki and we get to see him use a bit of his power. We also get a bit of his past. And upon seeing his power for the first time, I immediately thought of Sasuke's curse mark from Orochimaru. It also reminded me of Jugo's powers, his curse mark. So maybe potentially Kawaki's from the same clan Jugo was, because we didn't get much about Jugo's clan, and we saw him grow a claw out of his arm the same way Jugo did back in Naruto Shippuden. It also seems like Kawaki is going to be Boruto Sasuke, which we finally get in this series. So this chapter was great from start to finish. On the cover arc, we see Kawaki with the blue shirt, and it's also nice that we get confirmed that 100% that this isn't Iwabe. He's a completely original character and not an Obito. We also see a mark on his back. It looks like the Uchiha fan, but it's most likely the Kara's mark. We also see some text that says the fated encounter, the Kawaki arc has a classic start with a cover color and 41 pages. So it looks like we're getting a Kawaki arc. I wasn't expecting this at all, but then I'm thinking they called it an arc, but an arc in the Boruto manga only lasts a few chapters because each chapter is 41 pages or so. But they're finally giving us, the fans, what we want, more Kawaki. So let me talk about the actual chapter. So this chapter starts with members of the Kara. We see Jigen, who's presumably their leader, and then Delta, a female member. I don't think we've been introduced to her up front and personal. We haven't gotten her name, but I think we did see her around the table once when they had a meeting. So she's questioning what Jigen is eating, and then she questions Kashin Koji's ability to finish the mission and get the vessel. And then she gets impatient and kicks the table and breaks it. But here comes the surprising part. Jigen just clenches his fist, and we see another table appear, and his drink and his food and the fork and knife were all back just like how it was before, while the other table is just sitting there broken. So he's clearly using a power that we haven't seen at all yet. So it's rather he has the ability to replace things or recreate objects or recreate things from the past, which would be an amazing jutsu. That, or he has some super fast power and was able to create a replacement immediately. So I'll talk more about his power towards the end. But it looks like the Kara has abilities we may not have seen yet, which is going to be pretty cool. Jigen also says it's impossible for the vessel to escape because it will eventually come back to him. So Jigen is one of those people who 100% believes in themselves and knows that he's going to be right no matter what. He reminds me of Aizen from Bleach. Those are the exact vibes I'm getting from him. We also see that he has black nails, so I'm getting the Akatsuki vibes once again from the Kara. So after that, we switch over to Boruto and the others who found Kawaki. And Boruto notices Kawaki's seal and puts his hand right near it, and then they both have a reaction to the seal. So after that, we get a flashback of Kawaki's past, and it's pretty tragic, man. It's it was short and simple, but tragic all at once. So his dad sold him off for money and said he was only a good punching bag and that he was empty inside. So his dad is scum, probably one of the worst dads in all of Naruto and Boruto. Obviously making Naruto look like a god right about now. If Kawaki and Boruto ever talk about this, Boruto's going to realize how good he had it all along. Because, look, if you think about it, Kawaki was abused by his father and then sold off right in front of him. This clearly will only lead to a path of evil. If I had to make a comparison, I would say this is just as bad as Gaara's dad trying to kill him. But that aside, Jigen buys Kawaki from his dad and says that he's his father now for some reason. I don't know, I feel like they were trying to make a Star Wars reference with that. I feel like they've been making a lot of those since we first saw the Chakra Saber. But jokes aside, when Kawaki wakes up, he has a surge of power. It kind of reminded me of Dragon Ball Z because he just gets up, has a surge of power, creates a crater in the ground, and then asks who the hell Boruto and the others are, and calls them assholes because that's going to be his catchphrase. Forever, he's going to have "Who are you assholes?" in this chapter. So more jokes aside, I don't know, I'm just making a bunch of jokes in this review. But he asks if they're pursuers from Kara, which implies that he's on the run from them. And then Delta gets to Kashin Koji, who was just standing there watching. Because I know you kind of got a feel for Kashin Koji, because he made an excellent, cool goodbye in the last chapter. Now he's like, dang, I didn't finish cleaning up my mess, so I gotta come back. It's like imagine leaving a party and everybody saying goodbye to you, and you're just being wished off like a hero, and then you come back, oh, I forgot my watch. Anyways, when Delta gets there, she notices that Boruto also has the karma, and then she questions how does he have it. So it seems like everyone in the Kara is familiar with karma, and I think we have to throw the theory that you get it by defeating an Otsutsuki member out the window, because no way all these Otsutsuki members came down and no one noticed, and they all got defeated by a random organization that no one knew about up until this point. Like, it doesn't make any sense. If they were a secret organization and discovered this, that makes more sense, but them thinking that all of them who have it, who may possibly have it, defeated members of the Otsutsuki clan, it doesn't really make sense. Unless they defeated Otsutsuki members from the moon a long time ago and became immortal, nothing is really adding up. So after that, we see another member of the Kara appear, and he's an outer member. I guess all the inner members have an outer member counterpart, at least one, I'm thinking. And based on what I've seen so far from Ao and this Garo guy, it looks like they're all gonna be like part cyborg. So it seems like they have a boss and goons systems where the outer members are the goons and they do all the dirty work for the inner members. I don't know, that's what I'm getting from this so far, which already makes this very different from the Akatsuki because it gives them 2 levels of power. And based on what we saw from Ao, you have to be at least Jonin level to take them on. Konohamaru, they haven't really developed his character well enough because I feel like he should have been able to beat Ao. We haven't really gotten any feats from him at all. Not a Sage Mode, not a Crazy Giant Rasengan, nothing. So I haven't really been able to, like, power scale him, I guess I should say, in a way to where we could figure out how strong these guys are as compared to him. Because I'm sure Konohamaru is considered an elite Jonin, and if he can't defeat them, who else is going to defeat them? I'm guessing it's going to take the Kahona 11 to defeat these inner Kara members, or the outer ones at least. And if that's true, it's going to take Naruto, Sasuke, and maybe Sakura to defeat the inner members. Because as of right now, no way Boruto and the others can catch up to even take on the the outer members. Maybe this is how they get rid of the old generation, by having them, like, slowly die in fights against the Kara with the outer members, and then have the new generation defeat the inner members. I don't know, the inner members are seeming like throwaway characters as of right now. Because Ao, a character we knew from the previous generation, or from Naruto Shippuden, was here, and he went to the bad guy side, and we got no explanation, and he just seemingly died, because the last time we saw him, Kashin Koji's toad was stomping on him, so he's pretty much confirmed dead, or at least seemingly dead at this point, and we didn't get an answer as to why he joined the Kara. Something else I want to talk about is something that I've noticed. I've noticed that they've been referring to Kawaki as a vessel the entire time, basically treating him like an object, like he's not human, because they've been doing this even before it was revealed that he had a connection to the Kara. Before we even knew that someone was going to come out as the vessel. Like, I don't know, most fans probably predicted that the vessel was going to be Kawaki inside, but no one knew for sure. But they've been referring to him as a vessel instead of a person the entire time. So maybe Kawaki ran away because they were treating him like an object, because that's seemingly what it looks like. It was also revealed to us that Kawaki broke the new outer member's Garo's arm, or his jaw. And this guy is at least as strong as Ao, or somewhere in his league. And if we add this to the fact that Kawaki was probably the one who broke the robots, he's already extremely powerful, because it took all of Team 7 struggling together to defeat those robots, and he defeated them by himself and destroyed them worse than they did. But after that, we get to the most important part of the chapter, or at least one of the most important part of the chapters, because we got a lot in this chapter. So we begin to see Kawaki fight, and he uses his right arm, not the left arm with the seal, his right arm, in case you didn't notice. And we see a claw or a blade or whatever you want to call it come out, and it instantly reminded me of Sasuke's transformation after receiving the curse mark and Jugo's ability like I brought up earlier. And it looked exactly like one of Jugo's attacks, which makes me wonder if he's actually a member of Jugo's clan, because we don't know much about Jugo's clan, or it could even possibly be Kimimara's clan, but from what I've seen so far, it looks more like Jugo's curse mark, or his sage transformation. It looks exactly like it. Like, if this was the anime, we would 100% be able to tell, but I guess seeing it in black and white, we're not able to fully tell. But if I had to say it was anything, I'd say it was Jugo's curse mark, or at least it's similar to it. Because what we know about Jugo's curse mark and his abilities is that he's able to absorb natural energy easily, which could be how he got up so quickly even after his fight with the robots. So it was stated that Jugo's clan is able to absorb natural energy quickly, which is what's required for Sage Mode. But in turn, they have uncontrollable power surges, which is what happened to Kawaki after Boruto and the others came in contact with them. So maybe he was absorbing natural energy to replenish himself, and then had a surge of power and created that crater. So his power may be exactly the same as Jugo's. Based on what we've seen so far, that's what I can theorize. So after that, that's where the chapter ends. So there's so much to theorize with this chapter regarding Kawaki, his past, and his powers, not to mention Jigen's powers, and Delta and her outer partner. So Kawaki's backstory, which was short, but it didn't take much to understand that he had a bad father that used him as a punching bag and then sold him for money. Now let's talk about Jigen's potential power. I touched up on it a bit earlier, but he seemingly did it effortlessly after Delta destroyed the table. All he did was clench his fist and a new table appeared like magic. It was almost like he reset the table into place, even though we saw the broken table was still there. So maybe he has some hyper space jutsu or some possible genjutsu. I really wish we were getting the Boruto manga every week now, but I don't think they'd make it weekly or even bi-weekly until they know fans are constantly and consistently reading this. We don't know much about Delta, but she's clearly a new waifu in Boruto. She'll probably look better animated because everybody, to be honest, looks trash in Ikimoto's style of drawing. But I will admit that his art has improved lately. I hear some people, I've seen some opinions and they think they're getting used to it, or they can just deal with it now. It's really just okay to me, but Delta's outer part, well, we don't, one other thing is that we're not 100% confirmed that her name is actually Delta. It could be like said as something else, but this is what we're getting for now, so that's what I'll say it as. I honestly recommend reading the official Viz translations when they come. But that aside, we also see her cyborg partner. So I'm guessing it's good. Like I said earlier, I think it's going to be like that for everyone. Every inner member is going to have an outer member counterpart, unless they're just strong enough to handle all their business on their own. But one other thing and last thing I want to talk about, it wasn't really touched upon in this chapter, but I did mention it myself earlier, and it's Boruto and Kalki's rivalry. So far, when we have a rivalry, we have, like with Hashirama Senju and Naruto and Sasuke, we have one dojutsu user who's usually the aggressor, like Sasuke and Madara, and then we have the Sage Mode user who is Naruto and Hashirama. But this time it's kind of reversed because the aggressor, seemingly Kawaki, has the Sage Mode and Boruto has the dojutsu. So I really like what Ikimoto and Kodachi have been doing here, and I think what they've done with Boruto so far has been pretty good. It hasn't been Naruto level, but it's really getting there with the hype at least. I plan on doing a video discussing Boruto and Kawaki and their potential relationship, like as rivals, but we'll just have to wait and see for the next chapter. But we have an entire month, so I guess I'll just be theorizing on what their encounters could probably be like. But let me know what you thought of this chapter in the comment section below. I'll also have a video on a video detailing Boruto and Kawaki's potential powers later on. But let me know what you think their powers could actually be, and if you think it's some sort of Sage Mode the same as Jugo's, Kawaki's ability, that is. So if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching, and bye.